Okay. Hi, thanks for watching. It's a Lipstick Gal. I thought I would do my very first get ready with me while trying some new things that I just received in the mail from Sephora. But first I wanted to show you, here's my little kitty. Her name is Lottie. Hi, baby. She's the sweetest little thing. Friend of ours found her on their front porch, stray. She sadly has a couple of little kinks in her tail, a couple of places where I don't know who or how she broke it, but it healed before we got her to the vet. The vet was like, oh, this is already healed, she's fine, won't cause her any problems. But she is, they say, about 6 weeks old now, and she's just the smallest little, barely 1 pound little girl. But anyway, all right, so I'm gonna give this to my, oh, bye Lottie, I love you, baby. Here, give her to my little girl. Oh, don't cry, it's okay. Okay. Let me just show you what it was that I picked up and we're going to be working with today. So I saw this and I had to have it. Now, I already have like more than 60 highlighters, but this was calling my name. And I know they're very traditional colors, easy to use, nothing original, but the whole idea of hyaluronic acid in the powder, which would make it really, really easy to help hydrate your face and not kind of display texture. 43 years old and me were like, yes! All right, another thing that I got that I've been very curious about was the Born This Way concealer. I have heard good things. Here's the problem I've always had. Because I am really pale, I tend to buy a shade lighter than my skin tone, and I can never really truly conceal these dark circles you see that I'm dealing with here. I got something darker than I would normally get. I did some shade matching and I ended up with the shade Vanilla. Now, here's hoping it's not as dark as the bottom. This just might be too dark, but we're gonna try it out. All right, and the last thing that I got was this. It's from Kat Von D. It's the Lash Liner. And this is supposed to be inner liquid eyeliner for your waterline. I normally don't use it on my lower waterline, but I do love the look of full lashes when I tightline my upper waterline, and I thought I'd give this a try for that. So those are the things that I picked up. Something else that kind of came along with it, there was a promo code for this. You know, spend a certain amount and you get the new Hourglass, what is it? Caution Extreme Lash Mascara. I thought we'd give that a try today. And then one of the samples was this, and I haven't wanted to spring for it. 50 something for a primer seems like a lot, but I definitely wanted to try the Silk Canvas. I did get a few other things, but it has really not a lot. Maybe we'll talk about it as we're getting our face done. So I'm gonna start here with the Silk Canvas. Oh look, it looks like a little pill. Like the sort of thing you would find, and I just dropped it, if you were like taking something for motion sickness. I think I remember taking something like this when I was on a boat once. I get very, very motion sick. They say you need about the size of a grain of rice, so we're not going to use a lot. We'll see how long this little itty bitty sample lasts. Ooh, that feels really good. I do tend to have a lot of texture that I deal with here, pores, of course, and that is something, you know, I do my best to kind of hide it. I might need a little bit more. And I do my best to use exfoliators that are going to get rid of my texture. But, you know, I don't always have perfect skin. And on the days that I don't, I like to use a pore filling primer. So that's what we're gonna do. This summer I have been doing nothing but using, very rarely do I use foundation. A lot of times, I think I'm just gonna have to clip my hair back. This may look crazy, but we're gonna do it. Here we go. I think I'm just gonna use the concealer, because normally I just use concealer and I go for it. Oh, I'm very worried. I'm very worried. Let's see how we do. That's too dark. But maybe it's, you know, maybe you need to blend it out. All right. I'm just going to use this. This is a clean Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. It's not too bad. Let's see if it can handle these really dark under eyes. No, I don't know. Maybe if I, instead of brushing, if I stipple it in, that might work better. I definitely feel like this is too dark. I deal with a lot of redness right around my nose, so I think I might actually need to dip in for a smidge more, but we'll see. Okay, corners of my mouth here. I might just end up using this as foundation everywhere because it's so dark in so many other places. But if I don't, I might end up looking crazy. I know a lot of times when I watch videos on YouTube, tutorials, or get ready with me's, or people are trying new products, they do tend to wear a lot of base products that are darker than their natural skin tone, and I don't know if that's our desire as a culture to really live a, tanned is better life. I have always kind of hung my hat on being pale. I might just switch over to a beauty blender. I might just do that. So since I always have really liked that pale way of life, I've never, we're gonna go into this now, I never really felt like I needed to be darker than I was. I've never self-tanned, not once in my life. I've never desired to self-tan. And when I do get that kind of crazy, like what is going on, tan from wearing like sleeveless shirts like this, I'll have more color on the tops of my shoulders. I just kick myself for not having applied enough sunscreen because I wear sunscreen every single day. I wear SPF 50. Not just on my face and décolleté, but arms, shoulders, any part of me that is exposed. So if I'm wearing like a maxi dress, like mid shins down and the tops of my feet will get it. I mean, I put it everywhere. And so I've always tried to make sure, I don't know that it's happening, that my face matches my neck. And here it looks like we're several shades lighter here than we are here. I'm just not going to take this down. I know a lot of people would do that. But I want to see more what the coverage is like and how it blends and what it looks like on the face as compared to, I obviously got the wrong shade, and that happens when I buy things online. Okay. This might be a good time to try and see how it works with this. One of my favorite powders, I love the way that it looks, only it's way too dark for me, is the Glossier Wowder. And since I'm sporting a much darker face, this might be the time to see if we can set it with a little Wowder. All right. Just gonna take a powder brush. I don't want to too heavily set my face. In the summertime, I tend to like to have more of that, I mean, I do all year long, that kind of dewy, real skin look. And I'll tell you, first of all, that silk canvas is no joke. It got rid of a lot of the texture that I've been seeing that's visible, even when I'm using this one from Tarte. This is their Timeless Smoothing Primer. This is their limited edition packaging. I should have gotten it in the regular packaging, but my Ulta only had that. But I like it. The color for this product isn't working for me. And I should say the color for the concealer isn't really doing it for me. It's too dark, obviously. But I think that the texture of it is really nice. And I think that it plays well with this powder. And if I was, not quite as pale as I am, I think I would like this combo. Now, in the summertime when I wear concealer only, I usually use it like under here, a little bit here to kind of highlight down the bridge of my nose, corners of my nose for redness, and then right around the corners of my mouth and maybe a bit on my chin, because that's where I tend to have a lot of redness. I'm trying to block out redness in those areas and let the rest of my skin just be. But you know, I don't know if it's the silk canvas or I don't know if it's the Born This Way. I definitely want to get this in a shade that's appropriate for me. And I'm going to try not to go too light, because when I go too light, I don't think it does anything to help the under eye circles that I'm dealing with. And, you know, maybe nothing really is going to help it other than fillers. All right, so let's keep going. I'm just going to use this Tarte, what is this, the Play palette. I'm just going to use a mixture of these two guys here to kind of bronze. Oh, that's a lot. I'm going to go into one of my favorite blushes. This one is from Makeup Geek. This one is called Blind Date. Looks like this. It looks a lot more pinky here in these lights than it does. And I'm just going to use a duo fiber brush to apply this. I like duo fiber brushes for not being too heavy-handed when it comes to applying blush. I really appreciate that. I need to do some serious buffing. This is not working out. I'm going to go into my Hourglass powder here. This is the Veil Translucent Setting Powder. And I'm going to take it on this brush here, kind of quite a bit of it, and then just see if it can help my blend a little bit. You know, the problem could have been that I didn't get enough powder down first, and now these other colored powder products are kind of grabbing to things. It could just be I'm not up to my game today. So this summer has been one of those where it's basically just been keeping up with whatever schedule I have set for my kids, since I'm at home with them during the day. Well, in the evening too. I'm home with my kids during the summer. So music lessons, they do swim team 5 days a week. Haven't really had a real vacation. My husband decided to take them camping. He's like, you want to come? I'm like, no, I don't want to come. So I stayed home from the camping trip, and they had a great time, and so did I. So I haven't really done anything remarkably exciting this summer. And I'm not sure that remarkably exciting is in the works for me this summer. I feel like that definitely is a lot better. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. All right. So from here, I'm just going to throw a little bit of shadow from this palette into my eyes. Nothing exciting, nothing major. Just I drop everything. Do you ever do that? Like standing in your bathroom or sitting at your vanity, you drop something, you're like, no, please don't break. Please don't break. And it's like me every single day. I try and be careful with my stuff, and I usually do a fairly good job, but there are times where it's like, yeah, no, Butterfingers today, Butterfingers the whole week. And I'm surprised as many of my things, and maybe it's that they're not that far from the ground when they hit. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad. So glad that didn't go the other way. Unless I'm, you know, going out, I tend to do very simple eye looks. Here's one of the things that I've learned about myself. First of all, my eyes are not terribly large. I don't have a lot of lid space. I don't necessarily have, you know, huge, giant eyes that, you know, you could get lost in their languid depths. That's definitely not me. So I try and use some lighter shades, unless I'm going for something truly bold. Just enough to give a little depth in the socket area. And then I kind of blend it all together. And then put a little bit of shimmer on the lid. That's a very easy, everyday eye look for me. And I put a little bit of this darker shade over here. Right here in this outer corner. Do you have a go-to eye look? One that you're constantly like, oh, I can't stop doing this. This is like what I do every single day. If you do, let me know. I would definitely love to try something different. I would like to get inspired and not always do a really easy nudie eye like this. All right, I'm just gonna use another small little brush here, dab between two medium browns and put a little bit on my lower lash line. And help blend this edge out here. Alrighty, a little bit of extra to brush away. Alright, so maybe I'm gonna quickly do my brows and I'll be right back because I could be here for a while. So in my brows today, I used MAC's eyebrows, spiked eyebrows, I guess that's what it is. I got this in a BoxyCharm along with the Brow Gal, the Instant Brown Hair No. 2 Tinted Brow Gel, another BoxyCharm find for me. Both of these, when they're gone, they will be things I will be rushing out to get again because I really like the way that these work to give me, you know, defined, fuller, not too heavy duty brows. All right, so the next couple of things I want to try. I have been really curious about this new Kat Von D Lash Liner product. So that's the next thing I'm going to put on. I'm going to quickly curl my lashes now so that we can put this on and then. All right, so I just finished curling my lashes. I am now going to attempt to not get this everywhere and put on some of this Kat Von D Lash Liner. Wish me luck. Ooh, look at that. There's like a little teeny tiny, it almost looks like a sponge at the end. Let's see what it looks like first. How it works. Ooh. Wow, that's very black. I'm excited to try this. The bottle is so itty bitty, teeny tiny. We're talking it's 0.06 fluid ounces. Maybe you'll go through it quickly so it never goes bad on you and you end up like putting stuff in your eye that's not good for it. Okay, here we go. The one thing I will say is this applicator is so gentle. Okay, the hard part I think is keeping your eye open until it dries. Because as you can see, I already have a little bit transferred here and here. And we're just gonna sit here like this. You know what I should probably use? Let's keep it open. It's not going to be as heavy or as terrible as my own finger keeping it open. Or maybe I won't even stretch it as much. Okay, let's see. Are we dry? So now, get the extra of this out. Let me do the other eye really quick. Oh, I do like the packaging. This little pointy stiletto thing makes it easy to hold. Okay. Let's see. I'll be really interested to see how this wears. Application is fairly easy. If you're one who likes to, oh, don't blink while you do this. I think that would be the obvious thing. The blinking gets at places you don't want it to be. See if I can make it a little darker in some spots here. I feel like this is about as easy as if I were using a kohl pencil, like that Drama liquid pencil from Lancome that I have used a lot of. is about as easy to apply as this, but it does already make my lashes look remarkably, oh, so much thicker. But you can see that as I'm going in to kind of get it out of my lower waterline, because that's not how I want my look to go. I never wear, well, I rarely wear things in my lower waterline. If anything, it's a nude pencil or a white pencil. So now we're gonna go into this little itty bitty teeny tiny sample of the Caution Extreme Lash Mascara. Look at this. It's cute. I know the packaging is black, not black as gold for this, but this is what the brush looks like. Doesn't it look like right at the end there's like a ton of product? Let me see if I can get some of that off, and we'll get to see more of the bristly bristles here. I don't know. I like smaller size mascaras because I don't feel like I have to try and use it all up. But sometimes I'm not sure that the wand, especially how short the little the wand itself is, like the brush may be fine, but the wand is so short you're like in here like a crazy person. Let me put some of this on. Let me see how we do. So this is going on to already curled lashes. Seems a little on the thick side. Go for mascara. You know, I'm not hating this. It's very black, which I like. I feel like my lashes look longer than they do on an average mascara day. My current favorite, oh, wouldn't you know it? Oh, wouldn't you know it? My current favorite mascara right now is the Lancome Monsieur Big. That one just is like my adamant favorite. I love it. You know, I don't hate this. I'm willing to keep going, trying it, and you know, let me know if you want to know what my thoughts are in a while. If you want an update on whether I still like this or not, and would recommend it. So my lashes are short, they don't curl, they kind of point down a little bit. They're kind of like what maybe a guy would be happy with, because he's not one who's like, my husband doesn't really care that he has long and curly eyelashes. I would love to have this long and curly eyelashes, because to him, eyelashes are to make sure things don't get in your eyes. And for me, I'm like, no, eyelashes are to make you look long and wispy and black, and yes, that's what I want. And he's just like, you know, he could care less. Couldn't care less. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna let this little bit of mascara here dry. You see that? And then we'll brush it off once it's dry, but let's put on the highlight while we wait. Oh, there's a sticker to hold this together. How thoughtful. Let's use our Kat Von D gizmo here. Look at that. That worked really well to lift that up. Never ruin your manicure again. You can use this to pry up those little sticky thingies. All right. Ooh. Hello, sexy. Why, thank you. Hello. Oh, I love the packaging. Look at that. Oh, glow. So beautiful. Ooh, that's nice. Is it? It looks like it's a rubberized, it's all rubber packaging, but I thought it would have like a clasp or a magnetic closure. It doesn't, it just seals itself like a little piece of silicone or something. Interesting. I don't know how long that's going to last. All right, so for highlighter, you know what? I'm going to use this. I normally don't go fan brushes, but I haven't used it in a while. This is my Wayne Goss number 15. And I'm going to go into these two here. Let's just start with the white one. The white one here. Ooh, it doesn't say. The back is completely blank. I wonder if there are names. It's the one that says hello. Can you see anything? I'm like, I don't see anything. Do you see anything? A little bit. That's pretty. More, because more is always more. I always do a little bit like half, like right where the arch of my brow is, like right here and down, kind of like in a C shape. That's where I usually hit. Okay, let's see. Now, I am building it up, I am getting more, But here's the deal. I don't see that it's really like super emphasizing my texture. I like that. And that's kind of what this claim to fame with the hyaluronic acid, kind of that whole idea of plumping. And because I like to put highlighter kind of like right here, it kind of at times can get right where you would see like when I smile, crow's feet. And the last thing I want is it to settle in there and be one of those places where it tends to be like, oh look, texture. So I'm always looking for highlights that are beautiful. The older I get, the more of a subtle highlighter I'm wanting and the less of the, you know, absolutely blinding. I love a blinding highlighter, I do. But the older I get, the less fantastic it looks like on me. And then I like to take whatever is left on my brush, kind of go over the center of my forehead and my chin. Just to, apparently everywhere. You know, I do want to try this next shade. Maybe I should try it with a different brush. This is a Luxie tapered highlighting brush. So let's see what this looks like. Oh wow, yeah, that really piles it on. So that Wayne Goss brush, that number 15, all for subtlety. If you are into subtle highlighter, that'll help you achieve that look. If you're into something a little bit more, and I'm going to go into right now this middle one right here, this one here. I'm a little worried it might be too dark for my skin, but we'll see. Oh, that's pretty. Cupid's bow. You know, I'm not hating this. It's very black, which I like. I feel like my lashes look longer than they do on an average mascara day. My current favorite, oh, wouldn't you know it? Oh, wouldn't you know it? My current favorite mascara right now is the Lancome Monsieur Big. That one just is like my adamant favorite. I love it. You know, I don't hate this. I'm willing to keep going, trying it, and you know, let me know if you want to know what my thoughts are in a while. If you want an update on whether I still like this or not, and would recommend it. So my lashes are short, they don't curl, they kind of point down a little bit. They're kind of like what maybe a guy would be happy with, because he's not one who's like, my husband doesn't really care that he has long and curly eyelashes. I would love to have this long and curly eyelashes, because to him, eyelashes are to make sure things don't get in your eyes. And for me, I'm like, no, eyelashes are to make you look long and wispy and black, and yes, that's what I want. And he's just like, you know, he could care less. Couldn't care less. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna let this little bit of mascara here dry. You see that? And then we'll brush it off once it's dry, but let's put on the highlight while we wait. Oh, there's a sticker to hold this together. How thoughtful. Let's use our Kat Von D gizmo here. Look at that. That worked really well to lift that up. Never ruin your manicure again. You can use this to pry up those little sticky thingies. All right. Ooh. Hello, sexy. Why, thank you. Hello. Oh, I love the packaging. Look at that. Oh, glow. So beautiful. Ooh, that's nice. Is it? It looks like it's a rubberized, it's all rubber packaging, but I thought it would have like a clasp or a magnetic closure. It doesn't, it just seals itself like a little piece of silicone or something. Interesting. I don't know how long that's going to last. All right, so for highlighter, you know what? I'm going to use this. I normally don't go fan brushes, but I haven't used it in a while. This is my Wayne Goss number 15. And I'm going to go into these two here. Because, let's just start with the white one. The white one here. Ooh, it doesn't say. The back is completely blank. I wonder if there are names. It's the one that says hello. Can you see anything? I'm like, I don't see anything. Do you see anything? A little bit. That's pretty. More, because more is always more. I always do a little bit like like half, like right where the arch of my brow is, like right here and down kind of like in a C shape. That's where I usually hit. Okay, let's see. Now, I am building it up, I am getting more, but here's the deal. I don't see that it's really like super emphasizing my texture. I like that. And that's kind of what this claim to fame with the hyaluronic acid, kind of that whole idea of plumping. And because I like to put highlighter kind of like right here, it kind of at times can get right where you would see like when I smile, crow's feet. And the last thing I want is it to settle in there and be one of those places where it tends to be like, oh look, texture. So I'm always looking for highlights that are beautiful. The older I get, the more of a subtle highlighter I'm wanting and the less of the, you know, absolutely blinding. I love a blinding highlighter, I do. But the older I get, the less fantastic it looks like on me. And then I like to take whatever is left on my brush, kind of go over the center of my forehead and my chin. Just to, apparently everywhere. You know, I do want to try this next shade. Maybe I should try it with a different brush. This is a Luxie tapered highlighting brush. So let's see what this looks like. Oh wow, yeah, that really piles it on. So that Wayne Goss brush, that number 15, all for subtlety. If you are into subtle highlighter, that'll help you achieve that look. If you're into something a little bit more, and I'm going to go into right now this middle one right here. This one here. I'm a little worried it might be too dark for my skin, but we'll see. Oh, that's pretty. Cupid's bow. Do you ever feel like you put on too much highlight? I do that like every day of my life. I'm like, I really don't need this much, and I keep going. Because I love sparkly, shimmery, glowy, anything. I think I'm going to go into this Bite Beauty. This is the number 36 lip pencil. A real neutrally nude. There is this one from Lipstick Queen. This is the Silver Screen, and this one is in You Kid. Oh yeah. And I'm just going to pop on a little bit of gloss. And this is from Clay to Poe. This is, I don't know what it is. Radiant Liquid Rouge, number 11. I'm just going to pop a. All right, so let's quickly go over my thoughts about the products that I used today. First thing I will say is I can totally see what the hype is behind the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I really feel like it canceled out a lot of the pores that I have in my nose area, and some of this slight texture right along and through here. I get kind of like a little orange peely texture right in here, and I think it really helped. I like, and if this continues to be something that wears well, I could see myself using this as opposed to the Tarte primer that I've been using a lot recently. All right, second thing that I like the way this applied. Obviously, vanilla is too dark for me, but I want to go in store and get the right shade match and try it again. Because on the days where I just want to like conceal here, redness in through here, and maybe a little bit of highlight on my forehead, so a little couple of dots here that I can just dissipate out. I really do like the texture of this, and the problem that I have had with some other products is that they're too drying. Like MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, I love. It's a little on the drying side for me. Same is true with the Catrice one. I find that one's a little on the drying side. And Shape Tape, although it's very high coverage, I think the shades that I have might be too light. And also, I find that it makes my under eye a little more on the crepey side. I like that this doesn't. I don't feel like, you know, it's dry at all under here. I feel like it's about as hydrated as it can look with makeup on, and I'm pleased with that. So I'm very curious to try this, but in the correct shade. All right, from there is this lash liner from Kat Von D, and I like this. I like it a lot. Now, if you look really closely, you can see that there is a little bit of transfer, and I think that was because it's on both eyes too. I started blinking before it was fully dry, but it doesn't really seem to smudge. I think it works really, really, really well. And I love that this is a fairly fine point and it is so soft. Pencils aren't always the softest unless there's those gel pencils that are like really glide, but you still feel it on there as you're pulling it along. I hardly felt this at all, but I wish it dried just a hair faster. And the last thing here, maybe not the last thing, this Hourglass, this is their Caution Extreme Mascara. You know, I'm surprised. I kind of like what it looks like, and maybe it's that paired with this, and this is making my lashes look fuller at the base, and then you put this on and they're longer than a lot of other mascaras can get my natural lashes to look, because my lashes are short, they're very straight, and they kind of point down, so they need a really good curl with a eyelash curler first, and then they need several layers, and I don't feel like I had to build this up too much. I kind of like it. I'm glad to have this trial size. The last thing here is this. This is this highlighting glow kit. It's their glow powder. Is that what it's called? I'm looking over here at the packaging. GlamGlow Glow Powder, Hyaluronic Acid Infused Glow Palette. Yes, to highlight, glow, and soften. Well, there we go. Pearl Glow, Nude Glow, and Sun Glow. I really think that Pearl, Nude, and then Sun Glow, that these are the two most beautiful. Let me do some swatches for you really quickly. This is what we're looking at here. The Pearl, I don't know if you can notice, it has kind of like a pink shift to it, almost a little duochrome-y. This gold one here, I feel like I should have used that, but in the pan it looks so dark. It looks so dark. And then this Sun Glow right here is really pretty. I like it, like it, like it. So I'm excited to have this, and I like the fact that the highlight that I'm wearing today, I don't really feel like it accentuates, because like right around in here, you can see all my crow's feet when I smile. And I like that I, you know, look my age. I like that, but I want to be able to still use things like this and it not add years to my face, just add in a light, ethereal, dewy glow. And I think it does a really good job of that. I like it a lot. So I'm glad to have this. I think this is going to go like straight into regular rotation. The one thing I'm not very happy about is I don't feel like it seals really well. And it's also a little bendy. I feel like I could just like snap it in half like a chocolate bar. Kind of does look like a chocolate bar too, like, you know, they usually have the embossing of the name on top, like Ghirardelli or Hershey's or whatever, but I really like this. I'm surprised. So overall, I think it was really good. Different color, but you know, that was my fault from ordering online. Let me know what new products you have been trying. Let me know if you like this idea of a get ready with me. I've never done it before. I don't know whether it's something you're interested in seeing, but yeah. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, would you please subscribe? I'd appreciate that.